As the holidays approach, families will be gathering around the dinner table to share laughs, memories, and most importantly, food. For Jewish families, that means traditional mouth-watering favorites, many of which are recipes passed down hand to hand through generations, holding special memories and stories of their own. With help of Fivish Finkel, Tova Feldshuh, and former New York Mayor Ed Koch, a new documentary called Hugs and Knishes, a celebration of our Jewish food and traditions, offers not just a delectable look at Jewish cuisine, but a peek into the importance of food as a cultural connection to the past that can help maintain tradition for the future. Here's a look.
What is culture? Our traditions. Family values. It's how we live. The stories that we share, how we sing and how we dance. But most of all, it's what we eat.
And joining me now is David Anton, a.k.a. David Antosofsky, the filmmaker of Hugs and Knishes, a celebration of our Jewish food and traditions. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So first tell me, what was it that inspired you to make this film?
Well, I'd start with saying that this film has truly been a labor of love for me. I got to work on this project with my father, Marvin Antosofsky, Rabbi Marvin Antosofsky. And for the most part, he's been the primary interviewer throughout the whole film.
What is the meaning of the Paschal Lamb?
I think what's even more meaningful to me than that is that my late sister, Lisa Antosofsky, her music is woven throughout the whole show. She's also included in a lot of the Passover Seder shots. She's singing and playing guitar. So having that and having her music woven throughout the whole show really means the world to me.
Your father, being the main interviewer, got a chance to speak to the legendary Fivish Finkel, and we have a wonderful clip from the documentary where Fivish was comparing his own career to food. Let's take a look.
Do you have any interesting stories that you remember going back ages that have to do with food or the whole
Well, I'll tell you
sitting?
something. We used to eat at one restaurant. That's where we hung out. All the Jewish actors from 2nd Avenue in Brooklyn, those that were active in the theater, of the Yiddish theater.
Yeah.
There was it was called Cafe Royal, and they made a show about it called Cafe Crown. And I ate there for 30 years, and I never got what I wanted. Never got what I wanted. The waiter, I portrayed that waiter on stage, and that got me an Obie, and all these awards. He walked like a penguin. I did the same thing. And I said, I'd love to have the pot roast. No, take the chicken. You know, that's what went on all the time. And I listened to him. I take a look. People ordered pot roast. It was beautiful. And I'm stuck with the chicken. And that's been for 30 years. I must have been a masochist, for God's sakes.
But he wasn't the only big name that appears in this film. There's several other people that your father got a chance to sit down with.
Oh, absolutely. But just in regards to Fivish a little bit, is my father and he really hit it off. I mean, they both came from the same town in Brooklyn, and they both knew all the same rabbis and cantors. And actually, at the end of the interview, I had noticed a piano in the corner, and I kind of signaled to my father, had a feeling that if my father played, that Fivish would hopefully sing, and that he did. So we really experienced some incredible impromptu musical moments with them that have become some pretty special parts of the film.
And what about Tova Feldshuh?
Tova was incredible. Besides being brilliant and funny and entertaining, she has some concerns, a lot of concerns about our culture and its being able to survive because of what and how much we eat.
Well, that's interesting because we actually have a clip of Tova talking about what goes on at the dinner table when people gather together.
That's great.
And we ate like a pack of wolves. That I remember. The amount of food consumed at my grandmother's table was crazy. And we're still eating somehow, like we're back in the shtetl with the possibility of a pogrom coming down the street, you know, during the blood libel week of Easter and Passover. Once my mother's cholesterol started to spike and sisters started to die, that was it. Because some of it runs in the family. But as my mother said, your father had 140 cholesterol, he's dead, and I got 270, I'm living, so what are you going to do? One of my tikkun, which says that each person is put on this earth for the purpose of healing the world, is to relate health to cuisine, and some of which, of course, should be Jewish cuisine. We don't want to lose our tradition, but you don't have to eat half the challah. Oh my God, you don't have to eat half the challah.
That is great advice. You don't have to eat half the challah.
Yes.
But one of the things I thought was so interesting about this film was that food is a unifying factor for so many cultures. So what can other families take away from this piece?
This is really a feel-good film about family and Jewish culture and nostalgia and, of course, food, which is a link to our past and a hope for our future to maintain traditions and family values, even when everything else may have been abandoned.
David Antosovsky, or Anton, thank you so much for joining us.
I would like to say just a very quick thank you to Fiver Schwinkel, who unfortunately wasn't able to be here for the finish of this film. And just a big thank you to you up there, where hopefully you're eating a bagel with a schmear or a pastrami sandwich and you're looking down on this smiling, hopefully.
Well, hopefully he's watching 13 even from there. And a programming note, Hugs and Knishes, a celebration of our Jewish food and traditions, airs tonight at 9 p.m. on 13.